Let me paint a picture for you. It's halfway into the day and your class is heading into the computer lab, one of the best parts of school. Like always, you race to find a seat next to your buddies and speed run the educational program that they made you do. For me, it was the glorious I Station or Imagination Station. Once finished, you now get to indulge in one of the best experiences that any child could have had in a computer lab, and that is the Flash games. Primary Games is the website of choice that I used to use to play all my Flash games, and that's personally where I played Monkey Go Happy for the first time. Monkey Go Happy is a puzzle game of which the main goal is to make the crying monkey happy by any means possible. These puzzles are random, and as we go on, some of the puzzles are actually quite gloomy and creepy, and some of them get a little bit difficult and tricky. We're going to break down the first three games and we're going to be assessing how fun are they, how easy, and of course, how hard are these games now as an adult. Monkey Go Happy gave me a nostalgia hit that I was not properly prepared for when I was researching for games. Going to the website Primary Games and searching up Monkey Go Happy in the search bar brought me right back to 4th grade when I played this in the computer lab with my buddies. The problem with these flash games was that the majority of them weren't difficult to beat. Rather, we just didn't have enough time to beat them considering that we had to finish our educational stuff prior to playing these. Additionally, we played these games blindly without any external help due to the limited internet access we had on the school computers. And yes, I'm talking about the infamous get hint button or the walkthrough on YouTube button. I know you guys know what I'm talking about, but the games themselves were bare. So we had no help and we just had to beat them by trial and error. It wasn't until years later that I got a computer at home and that I actually got to use the walkthrough option since I had unlimited internet access as a kid. But that's a discussion for another day. Now, that being said, Monkey Go Happy 1 is one of the easier Flash games out there. As a matter of fact, after so many years of not playing this game, going in blind, I beat the game in about 7 to 8 minutes on my first try. But what makes this game fun is seeing how fast you can meet it. And what makes the game so special is all the different situations that this little monkey gets itself into. Not only that, is all the stuff that you have to do to make this monkey happy is what really makes this Monkey Go Happy series such a beautiful experience. Now, since many of the levels in the first Monkey Go Happy are easy and generic, I'm only going to touch on the levels that stood out to me, starting off with the balloon trace level. I remember this level being as one of the levels that would soft lock me because I couldn't properly control a pointer with the shitty school computer mouse they gave us. Now, the level mechanic isn't really the highlight of the level, more as the environment and the sound design in the level. Take a listen. As you can hear, like, what the hell is going on here? First of all, the monkey is in what seems like hell, and like there's flames everywhere. And in the background, you can only hear what I like to describe like a hyena or like a demon like laughter. It's a very odd choice of sound design for such a simple and kid oriented game. And then additionally, at the end, you also get to hear the iconic happy noises that the monkey makes whenever you cheer him up. One of the things that genuinely surprised me about this game is the length of the game and the simplicity of the final level. The first Monkey Go Happy is quite literally, I believe, only 10 levels. And the last level, all it asks you to do is click, I kid you not, 8 times, and then you beat it. It's not a long game, but it certainly is a huge nostalgia hit.
Another one. Another one. Another one.
The little green alien that showed up in the intro of Monkey Go Happy 2 was a nice nostalgia surprise that I wasn't expecting to see when I booted this game up. That little alien is from a whole separate game on Primary Games, one that I remember very fondly of. I played all 4 of them on Primary Games, and it had a similar puzzle style theme or mechanic just like this game, but I really wasn't expecting to see him on this game. I honestly forgot that game existed, and seeing that little green alien brought back a lot of nostalgic memories I had forgotten. Now, going into the game, you can tell that the monkey from the first one now has a child. It doesn't go into depth in the game, nor did I look up any lore onto where this kid came from and what relation this monkey has. But there are two monkeys now, so you have to make two monkeys happy. Um, the levels in this one are significantly harder and a little bit more complex. By that I mean the level design is a lot better and a lot more creative, and they're introduced a lot more mechanics into these levels, such as hiding in the dark or having multi-stage levels within what's it called? Having to read Roman numerals, things like that, out of the ordinary puzzles that weren't included in the first one that made it feel a little bit too simple. This one amps it up a little bit and adds a more complexity to the puzzles. That way, it's a little bit harder. It's not too much harder, but it does add a little extra into there, you know? This one does feature some really weird levels as well, just like the first one. There's a notable example in the bathroom sink level and in the cave level. It has a really weird background noise, really kind of disturbing whenever I first played it. Take a listen. And then there's this one. Another notable level for me that had that dark undertone was the clown level. In this level, you have to connect the phone and take down a poster on the wall. Once the poster is taken down, it reveals a second poster on the back with a number. This number has to be dialed into the phone, but I struggled very hard on this level. There are letters that you have to read on the dials, and the resolution of the Flash game was so shitty that I could barely read what the letters were, and I kept calling the wrong number over and over and over again. Eventually, I realized that I was putting in the wrong numbers, so I put in the right numbers. And once you make the phone call, you hear a doorbell ring, and then you can open the door, and behind the door is a clown with balloons. Now, necessarily, this level doesn't really seem that creepy, but for some reason, I don't know, I have like a dark feeling behind this one. Like, that clown has like a sinister vibe to him. I don't know. Could be that I don't like clowns, but you never know. Continuing on with interesting levels, level 15 broke me down. No matter what I could do, I could not figure out how to orientate the levers in order to open the door. I went at it for like 15 minutes straight, and it pissed me off to the point where I literally caved in and I had to watch a walkthrough from 2010. Some random kid oriented me on how to beat this level. Think what you want, but I was not a bit disappointed in myself. Last but not least, one of, if not my favorite level in Monkey Go Happy 2 has to be hands down the final stage. In the final stage, you have to find a variety of different colored eggs and click on them. In total, there are 200 eggs, and you have to find each and every one before the timer finishes. Within the level, there are also puzzles that you have to solve in order to find more of those eggs. On top of the ones hidden in plain sight, there are eggs that are hidden behind objects, and you have to click around the room to go ahead and find them. Once you finish and find all your eggs, you're taken to a scoreboard where you can go ahead and compare your score to some predetermined rankings to determine how well you did.
Another one. Another one. Another one.
Monkey Go Happy 3 follows the exact same formula that the second one did to the first. The level design of the third one includes more elaborate and complicated requirements to cheer the monkey up. Additionally, the monkey acquires yet another child, this one being even younger, a literal monkey baby. While writing the script for this game, I did look up the wiki for the game, and first things first, there are 42 of these fucking games. Like, holy crap, I didn't even know there was a fan base big enough behind this game to warrant the need for 42 games. Hell, there's games that are better than this one that don't have 42 games. Second, while speculated, the monkeys in the games, they are rumored to be his children, but it's not confirmed. He apparently has a grandpa and a wife as well in the other games. So I'm not really sure about the relation of these monkeys or where they're coming from, but there's an entire monkey family going on. With that cleared up, the third game is really similar to the second one, so much so that I'm going to break down the third game much like I broke down the second. In the background, you're going to be seeing the levels that are kind of more mundane and more generic, and I'm going to break down formally the levels that piqued my interest or that stood out from the rest. Much like its counterparts, the developers of this game decided to make the cave levels and Monkey Go Happy 3 creepy as hell, just like the other ones. With the exact same noises coming from the background of the level, it gives the level a creepy undertone when it really didn't need it. Take a listen. Another level that stood out for me had to be the train level. The reason that it stood out was because it was significantly harder than a lot of levels in the series, really. The mechanic of this level is trial and error, and because there's no telling where the train is going to go whenever it goes into one of these little tunnels, I spent quite a bit of time trying different routes until finally I found the tunnel that put my train on the left side of the map. Once I was on the left side of the map, it was free game from there. Not many levels in the series in general made me struggle, so it was nice to have to think a little bit more critically than I was used to while playing. Now then, for my favorite level in all three of the games. The video game level is a level that I hold dear and thought about ever since I came up with the idea to make a video on this game. I'm not really sure what made this level stand out and what makes it resonate with me so much, but I really enjoyed playing it. So I'm gonna play for you guys just the unedited clip of it. Last but not least is the final level in Monkey Go Happy 3. This level, much like the final level in Monkey Go Happy 2, is a searching level, but this time instead of having to find a bunch of eggs, you have to find a bunch of bells. Same thing as last time, there's puzzles in the levels and bells hidden behind some stuff. Since I knew the general mechanics of the level, I actually went crazy, and my final score was one click away from getting the best score possible in the game. Coming back and playing these games hit me with such a hard nostalgia hit, and it was just what I needed. I'm sure millions of kids around the world have played these games, and if you didn't, I'm glad to be the one to introduce you to them. For a majority of those watching the video, however, I hope seeing the gameplay of this game hits you just as hard as it did for me. The puzzles in these games are nothing crazy to write home about, but they are a fun pastime. I did beat all three games within 30 minutes, and I had a blast doing it. I would highly recommend all of you guys to go to primarygames.com and load up this gem one last time. It won't disappoint. If you made it this far into the video, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Making this YouTube channel has been a long time dream of mine, and it's honestly crazy to see it unfold right before my eyes. I promise to put my all into each and every one of these videos. That way it's content that you guys are going to want to watch and enjoy instead of content that you guys are just supporting. Till the next banger, love you.